Hi, I am here to argue that Lord of the Rings is better than Narnia. Lord of the Rings was written by J.R.R. Tolkien in the 1950s, and the Guardian newspaper rates it as one of the top 100 books of all time.
Well, Narnia was written in 1950s too. It took C.S. Lewis about 10 years to write all 7 books.
Lord of the Rings, although published as 3 books, there's 3 books in each book, so that's 9 books total. And J.R.R. Tolkien, it only took him 2 years to write Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, well, C.S. Lewis's books are a lot better than Lord of the Rings, so you can see why he had to take more time on them.
No, Lord of the Rings is better, partly because there's a very deep, deep spiritual underlying in Lord of the Rings.
So yours is like deep, deep, deep. The Narnia Chronicles actually have a really present allegorical meaning.
Yes, but Lord of the Rings has Gandalf, which is sort of the Christ-like figure, because he dies after battling the Balrog, but then he comes back to life, and he ultimately helps defeat Sauron, who is also the devil figure, because he's capturing all of Middle-earth, and then Gandalf comes and sort of helps get rid of all orcs, and Sauron is defeated. So, I don't know how you'd say that Narnia has more allegorical than Lord of the Rings.
Well, I mean, Narnia has the Christ figure. Narnia has all of it. And besides, Narnia's, like, when you read it, you can see. Like you said, Lord of the Rings, you kind of have to, like, go diving for it.
Well, unless you're big on spiritual underlyings, you're not going to be looking for it. So people who aren't looking for it are not going to find it in Lord of the Rings. And some people might not actually read Narnia because they think that it's too spiritual.
Well, yeah, but Narnia is a great book, even without the spiritual underlying message.
Yeah, but it's just basically about 4 spoiled kids saving Narnia.
They're not spoiled British kids. So the characters in Horse and His Boy are neither British nor spoiled. They're actually in slavery. Yes. The British kids that are called upon by Aslan to save Narnia, yes, they might seem a little spoiled, but they go to boarding school, you know, there's the war, and besides, they defeat Jadis the White Witch twice. What's his name? Puddlegum is neither a kid nor British nor spoiled. He lives in a marsh.
And yes. I seem to remember that the only thing that he does is burn his foot. That's all.
Well, it's not my fault you have a horrible memory. He is important to the story.
How?
Because he travels with the 2 main characters, and there's not really any other recurring characters in that book.
And he doesn't do anything but travel with them and burn his foot?
No,
Samwise Gamgee does way more than Puddlegum. He takes the burden of the ring, and he also, while Gollum is talking to Frodo about how Samwise is going to betray him, he stands by and he lets Frodo be rude and get mad at him, but in the end, he's always there for Frodo.
That doesn't change that there's no spoiled, well, there's one spoiled British kid, but even he changes into a really good kid at the end. He's disgruntled.
Yeah, but what does he do? He complains in the Voyage of the Dawn Treader, and then in the last battle, he cowers behind a rock.
Well, it's better than him going out and betraying people. Isn't that what your main character does?
Who?
Frodo? You were just talking about him betraying Samwise.
No, I said that Gollum was telling Frodo that Samwise was going to betray Frodo and take the ring for himself.
See, even you're getting confused by the twisted plot line.
Only people with low mental capacity get confused with the twisting plot line of Lord of the Rings.
Calling yourself stupid?
No. If you find the twisting plot lines...
I don't. I'm just saying that Narnia is a lot easier to read. So, over 100 million copies have been sold worldwide. That means over 100 million people enjoy Narnia. They can
Really?
read it.
Well, 150 million copies have been sold of Lord of the Rings. So,
How many languages? 'Cause
how many languages? Well, let's see. There's the one main language that Tolkien himself created,
no, I'm talking
Elvish.
about Narnia has been translated into 47 languages because people all over the world want to read it.
As in people, do you mean children?
Everybody can enjoy it. Children enjoy it. Teenagers enjoy it. Adults enjoy it.
J.R.R. Tolkien himself said that Narnia was too wishy-washy for a mature reader. So obviously, if people are enjoying Narnia, they don't have a very good taste.
But
and
what
B, it's pretty easy to read, so they
There's
must
a
have a hard time reading.
There's lots of books written for children, like Harry Potter, that everybody still enjoys reading. Just because they're wishy-washy and maybe are too fairy tale-ish, lots of people enjoy reading that. I mean, do you want to read these dark, heavy themes about evil almost completely ruling over the whole world all the time?
Yes, they're quite good. I would.
No. You gotta have at least some books, okay? In conclusion, I think that I've proved that Narnia is more spiritual, better plot line, and is altogether a far more enjoyable read for people of all ages than Lord of the Rings.
Well, Lord of the Rings is actually more spiritual because some people say that there's two different underlying spiritual themes, and then more people have read Lord of the Rings. And Lord of the Rings, yes, it's a little bit more darker, and it's centered towards adults and older teenagers, but kids that are more mature also read it. So overall, Lord of the Rings is better than Narnia.